Happy Labor Day, Jimmy. And to
You
everybody out there, thank you for joining us today on a long weekend. We hope everybody had a safe and wonderful Labor Day weekend. Basically the last one of the summer holiday, right? It's kind of a sad occasion for me.
Usually,
I hate when summer ends.
It's when school should start.
Well, it's when it should, not 3 weeks ago in Florida when, it was 172 degrees. I don't feel bad for the little brats. But anyways, folks,
They
listen.
have air-conditioned schools now.
Now they do, and they can wear shorts to school. I couldn't do that. I'm sweating in jeans, no air conditioning.
Yep.
Walked 10 miles both ways uphill. Remember, Jim?
Yeah.
Anyways, in this episode, folks, we discuss the powerful voices of Gold Star families as they candidly express their feelings about Vice President Kamala Harris and the whole Arlington Cemetery made-up fiasco. We have each and every one of those who made the video, and you're going to hear from all of those here today. Also, what's the media not telling us about Kamala's policies or themselves? We are going to go into that. Jim is going to explain all of that to us. And then the interview, Jim, the softball pathetic interview on CNN.
Or was that just a conversation between two people?
It was, but we'll have our take on it. But boy, was it just absolutely not just softball, but she couldn't even handle the softball questions. That was the part. Certainly didn't look presidential. We're going to get into all that plus so much more, Jim, on another amazing episode of what is this show called?
Live
Yeah,
from the Patriots Prayer Network.
Mm-hmm.
It's two guys, one coup.
Wake the hell up, America. Clearly the best opening song to any podcast across America. Agreed? Yes, I think we do. Find a better one.
We just did a survey. 100% of the people surveyed said it is.
100 out of
just
100
you and I.
surveyed.
It was like the Democrat surveys on CNN.
Yeah, it's like
their
polls.
What do you think?
That's right.
Win? Oh my God.
We took a vote. Guess what? It's the best one out there. I think we can agree on that. Jim, again, happy Labor Day. I hope you had a safe and happy weekend. Last one of the summer. So enjoy it. Be safe. You guys working on a holiday?
Of course.
Listen. We are. And I'm wearing new grit gear.
Yep.
Another new sweatshirt, hoodie. Beautiful. God, I love these things. Super comfortable. I might even sleep in them. Creepy, but I might sleep in them. And the new Grit Gear hat. What do you think? We're not twinsies today. Jim's got that beautiful shirt on, that Grit Gear hat. Folks, you've got to go there. www.gritgear.com, www.lockandloadcoffee.com. Don't forget about their coffee. You get them into pods. You get a regular ground coffee. Absolutely amazing products, amazing company. You need to go support them. Let's hear from them real quick, Jim, and then we'll get back with the show.
Yep.
Grit is defined as firmness of character, unyielding courage in the face of hardship or danger. At Grit Gear Apparel, we honor all military, police, fire, public service, and patriotic Americans, both men and women regardless of color, creed, or religion. Our brand represents the love and freedom for our country, the heroism of all our men and women, and the principles of what this wonderful country was built on. Our goal is to regenerate the sense of patriotism and to spark the American pride within us, to stand together in the toughest times and become victorious, to preserve all our freedoms, to honor our flag, and to respect the men and women who have fought and died for us to have these freedoms. Wear our brand with pride, with a sense of patriotism, and as a statement for the love of our country. Whether you're military, public official, or civilian, our brand is for you. Together we stand as Americans.
Yep, together we do stand as Americans. We need to remember that. That is a great slogan. Together we stand as Americans. Remember, gritgearapparel.com, lock and load coffee. Buckeye, good morning. Happy Labor Day to you. Thank you for that.
She should be happy today like you are.
Yeah, absolutely. Go Buckeyes. Crush those zips from Akron. Lockandloadcoffee.com. You get great gear. You get great products. You help a great company, veteran supported, American made, America first, family owned and operated. Grit Gear Apparel. Please go. We will see the coming weekend at Shield Foundation Warrior Fest. We'll look up on us quick. It is this weekend where Jim and I are broadcasting live from the event. We think both Friday and Saturday. We know Friday and Saturday we will be broadcasting live from the event. Live from the event. We'll bring you interviews behind the scenes, everything you need to know about the foundation and help, how you can support, and you'll get to meet the people that really put the show, that really support our veterans, and you'll meet and they're themselves, and you meet those that they're helping too. So we can't looking very, very forward. We think we're prepared, Jim.
Yep.
You live events, live broadcasts from there. Fingers crossed.
It's going to be interesting. But I'm hoping to get Chance, Ryan, and Rich on together.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, I'm hoping we can get them on.
That'd be a show in itself.
Yes, that would be cool.
A show in itself with those three guys. So that would be amazing. Yep. Thank you, warriorshield.org. Matter of fact, Jim, just before we even get started again, I'm going to play their little ad. It's still time. You can still get some tickets.
Kind of a perfect lead
all of them
too for what our first story is. So
yep, exactly. So here, let's hear from them, and we'll be right back.
Warrior Shield Foundation is here to unite, honor, and provide support for veterans, first responders, and Gold Star family members. The foundation will enable them to find the help they need through direct assistance or by connecting them with our shared vision network. Using data-driven models, we provide solutions that make a long-lasting difference. We, along with our partners, are dedicated to bringing together like-minded groups and individuals who have committed to making a difference in the lives of our hardworking, everyday heroes. We bridge the gap by connecting warriors or their families with the assistance they deserve and require, such as service dogs, wheelchairs, counseling, scholarships, and team building retreats, to name a few. You can help right now to make a difference for those who have helped and protected us all. Warrior Shield Foundation, selflessly doing for those who need it most.
It's a long way to home, but you won't take the hard road all alone. Just look to your left and look to your right. You were born to fight. You gotta light 'em up.
Yes,
you know,
please.
Considering we have an administration that could care less about our
could
veterans,
absolutely care less.
It's groups
veterans.
like this that they do.
Yep,
And
Jim.
we need
Exactly.
more.
Yep, they do. They do. We do have a current administration, future administration that doesn't give about our about homeless veterans, about their Gold Star families, about first responders, no matter what bull crap they're like on the media. We know it. They know it. We can't be fooled. We just can't be fooled at this point. We know the truth. So let's get right into it.
Yep.
The big controversy since our last
Can you believe
episode.
it?
Can you believe it was a controversy? A former president shows up to Arlington National Cemetery to honor the 3-year anniversary of the botched Afghanistan withdrawal, which took the lives of 13 Americans. And for that, he gets nothing but shit in the media for it. He broke the law. He broke the law, or a campaign of, or a campaign promotion, right? Is basically what they're saying. Use it for that. That's federal law. Well, assholes in the media, and those are spewing those lies. That is not what happened at all.
Nope.
Nothing even close to the truth. Into this, and then we've got videos
again spinning on the families. I mean, they're just ignoring the families. They don't
ignore, as they have been since it happened.
Yep.
As it has been since that happened. The Gold Star families who lost loved ones in a botched Afghanistan withdrawal blasted Vice President Kamala Harris over her attack on former President Trump for his controversial visit to Arlington National Cemetery. It's controversial because they made it controversial with their lies. Harris accused Trump of playing politics with the Monday visit, but in a series of short videos, 8 families said they have invited Trump and bitterly blasted the Biden-Harris administration over the disastrous pullout that left 13 U.S. service members dead 3 years ago. We have all 8 of those. We thought it was that important to play. We're going to start here with the first one, and this is Mark Schmitz. He's got something to say about the controversy the media is making up. Here's Mark.
This is Mark Schmitz, Gold Star father of Marine Lance Corporal Jared Schmitz. Here we are on a beautiful holiday weekend day. I got to stop what I'm doing, spending time with what's left of my family, to address a heinous, vile, and disgusting post put out by Kamala Harris, trying to incite those that don't follow the truth that President Trump was in Arlington as a political stunt. Shows you how much you know about the 13 families. We invited him to be there. Groundwork was put into place by Congressman Ice's office to make sure we followed protocol. Why did we want Trump there? It wasn't to help his political campaign. We wanted a leader. That explains why you and Joe didn't get a call. Imagine for a second that your kid is killed, and there's a president of the United States willing to take you under his wing and listen to you. That's what we found in President Trump. Certainly not you, and certainly not Joe Biden. You have 13 families who have been waiting over 3 years to so much as get a phone call, to so much as hear our kids' names said aloud in the halls of Congress, at a State of the Union, hell, anything. The irony behind your post, that you give a rat's ass about our military or our veterans, Jared's brothers and sisters in arms, the rest of the 12, their brothers and sisters in arms, is an outright lie. We're living proof of that. You're despicable. You have zero business running this country. And I pray to God, Americans, wake the hell up and get your ass out of office. You have spit in our face for the last fucking time.
Could not
powerful
not have been said better. That's pure, truthful emotion. Yeah, that's powerful.
You think the CNNs and the MSNBCs are going to redact all that and apologize and apologize to the families. Do you think they're going to do that, Dale?
No. They're never going to do that. They're going to keep spewing the lie, and they're running with it still today. It's not going
I
away.
guarantee you, people out there, like people that I know, are going to use that and not know the truth. They don't care to know the truth.
That's right. That's one. We have more. The next one we're going to play is from Christy Shamblin. I believe it was her son-in-law or daughter-in-law. I apologize, but you'll hear her video to Kamala Harris.
Vice President Harris, my name is Christy Shamblin. My daughter-in-law, Sergeant Nicole Leanne G., was killed in the Afghanistan exit at Abbey Gate on August 26, 2021. This year, for the 3rd year anniversary of her murder, we welcome President Donald J. Trump to Arlington to lay a wreath on the tomb of the unknown soldier with our family and to visit Nicole graveside. President Trump and his team were respectful. They listened to our stories and didn't talk much at all. We welcomed them that day and they were comfort to our family. Vice President Harris, I ask you, why won't you return a call and explain to us how you call my daughter-in-law's death a success? Vice President Harris, why will you not express your condolences yourself? Why have we never heard from you? And finally, why would you take a day where we celebrated the death of our loved one and use it to disparage not only them, but us? President Trump has called, President Trump shows up, and President Trump takes the time to hear our loved ones' stories. Why won't you do the same?
Each and every one of them powerful. I don't need to add to what they're saying. So I won't disrespect it in any way with my opinion. It is clearly, you feel the passion, you feel the hurt, you feel the pain, the anger, everything that you and I can't even imagine and never want to. And thank God, never want to. Next, we have Herman Lopez. Let's hear from him.
Good afternoon. My name is Herman Lopez. I'm a Gold Star father. My son, Corporal Hunter Lopez, was a U.S. Marine killed in action on August 26, 2021. This message is intended for Vice President Kamala Harris. I'm not a person who usually takes to social media, but earlier today, your post regarding the incident at Arlington National Cemetery was brought to my attention. After reading it, it caused a reaction with me. You indicated in your post that you support the military and military families. I, for one, have not seen that support. It's been 3 years since my son was killed in action, and myself, my family, and other Gold Star families have not seen any support from you or your administration. You may make hollow promises about the economy or anything else you'd like to make promises about. But one thing that I ask of you, and the reason I'm making this message, is for you to stop making comments about your support for the military. As a Gold Star father, I know that you have not supported us. I know that you have not supported other Gold Star families. Please stop making these types of comments because that support has not been demonstrated. Your words are hollow and empty. My other request is that for the American public to know that these messages, these promises from Kamala Harris, especially in regard to supporting the military and our military families, are false and baseless. They have not been proven, and she has not earned our respect. Thank you very much.
I mean, the messages are clear.
Commander-in-Chief, Dale.
She wants to be Commander-in-Chief, and very well might be.
And how many times do we have to hear this when it's a Democrat president, they don't reach out to the families, or when they do, it's still disrespectful. It's looking at their watches.
You remember Biden? That's right. When they brought the bodies back. Mm-hmm.
And it's just
it's heartbreaking. It's absolutely heartbreaking. Next up, we have Jim McCollum. Let's listen to Jim.
Vice President Harris, my name is Jim McCollum. I am the Gold Star father of United States Marine Corps Lance Corporal Riley McCollum, killed in Afghanistan, August 26, 2021. Your recent remarks related to Trump's visit to Arlington are filled with nothing but lies and deceit. How do you sleep at night knowing it was you, this administration, you and Biden, you being the last one in the room, are responsible for the death of our 13 kids? You have failed for 3 years and 8 months to acknowledge our kids, to acknowledge me. You don't know me. You've never spoken to me. You've never reached out to me. You have failed in your duties as vice president. You have been nothing but disrespectful to me and the families of the 13. Yet you're claiming that you will always be respectful and show respect for our fallen. You've been absent for 3 years and 8 months. You've proven that you're not capable to do the job that you have, let alone the job that you seek. You know nothing about honor, courage, commitment, respect, but President Trump does. President Trump has been there for us. He's been a rock for us. He showed compassion for us, and he showed he truly cares for the families that truly do know what the ultimate sacrifice really is. You have the day you deserve.
Yep. I mean, each one of them with a different message, all of them angry, all of them hurt, all of them saddened, and disrespected. Just the disrespect from the Democrats, from the Biden and Harris administration,
The media too.
and the media too, and the mainstream media who is complicit in all of this. Yeah, it's just absolutely, it's heartbreaking. We have another one, Darren Hoover. Let's hear from Darren.
My name is Darren Hoover, and I'm the Gold Star father of United States Marine Corps Staff Sergeant Taylor Hoover. Kamala, I want you to understand, and I know it will be difficult for you because you lack empathy and basic understanding. The events that happened on August 26, 2024, with President Trump at Arlington National Cemetery were solemn and in keeping with the reverence and respect that is given to all members of our military that are buried there. We invited President Trump. We are the ones that asked for the video and the pictures to be taken at the tomb of the unknown soldier. This was a very solemn wreath laying in our son's name, along with the Sergeant Nicole G family, as well as 2 of our catastrophically injured military members that were there on that horrific day in the honor of our Abbey Gate 13. We then moved to the gravesite where our children are buried. Again, we asked the Trump team to take the videos, take the pictures of our time there. President Trump then laid a wreath at the graveside of Army Staff Sergeant Ryan Christian Canals. There he talked to both his mother and father. President Trump then moved to our son's grave, where we were surrounded by our family and friends, where we talked about Taylor and his sacrifice to this country. Let me be clear. There was no politics discussed, none whatsoever. There was also not an assault that we observed take place, or did we hear it? I don't know where this is coming from, but it's disgusting and gross. President Trump has been there for us from the very beginning, when our son and the other 12 of his brothers and sisters in arms were murdered due to your negligence and uncaring attitude towards our military. Don't forget, Kamala, you were the last one in the room. You and Joe Biden made the final decision on how to pull out of Afghanistan. You created the chaos and mayhem for the military to accomplish their goals. Our sons and daughters made the best of a difficult situation, as they had been trained to do. They adapted and overcame all of that and came out as heroes, something that you will never know or understand. Kamala, we have been treated with the utmost respect, compassion, and understanding by President Trump, something you and Joe Biden have refused to do since August 26, 2021. No, where were you and Joe Biden on August 26, 2024? Nowhere near Arlington Cemetery. You couldn't be bothered to be with us or even say our kids' names, just as you have done for the last 3 years. Neither one of you have called to speak with us or share in our grief. I wonder, Kamala, do you sleep at night securely in your bed? Or do you have nightmares of our kids because it was your incompetence and negligence that got our kids murdered? It is you who sends out messages on social media that are outright lies. It is you that has disrespected our families. It is you who knows nothing about service and sacrifice. It is you that has divided this country, and it is you who is unfit to be the commander-in-chief. These are the only memories we get to make with our son, and it is you who is playing politics and trying to detract from our memories made that day. You should be ashamed and embarrassed at your lack of empathy and decency as a human being. You are only in this for the power and prestige. You don't care for our military or the citizens of this country. You should hang your head in shame at your actions or lack thereof. You need to move aside, get out of the way, and stop hindering the progress, growth, and independence of this great nation.
Each and every word, the truth. Each and every word, the truth. Remember, folks, and before we have 3 more. They didn't have to make these videos. Nothing's being forced upon these people to do this. This is pure anger. These are things I'm certain for the last 3 years, they wanted to say to Biden and Harris direct.
But that's why they won't call them. Okay, Dale, you froze up. I don't know if you can hear me, but
I can. Yeah. I can. Am I back?
Your voice is back.
Okay, that's all right.
You're back. You're back.
Okay. So sorry, but go on. Yeah, I was just saying that they wanted to say that for the last 3 years to these people, to Biden and Harris. And when he said that you were the last one in the room, that's something she's bragged about. That's not something that's made up.
Everything there's a lot of different things she said. I was the last one in the room. I was the last vote. I was the last,
Correct. She's taken responsibility for it all as a badge of honor for her. Yep. Instead, it's just absolutely crazy. Well, folks, we got another one. This is from Coral Doolittle. Let's listen from Coral.
My name is Coral Doolittle. I am Corporal Humberto Sanchez's mother. This is my statement of what happened on August 26, 2024. My son is not buried in Arlington, but I really feel like when President Trump went and paid tribute and pay his respect in Arlington for our kids, it was not just the ones buried in there. It was for all of our kids, and it was an invitation that the families actually extend to him, and it's not the first time that he actually meet with us and share time and with our families. After 3 years until now, Kamala Harris and President Biden didn't even say their 13 names. They called the withdrawal in Afghanistan a success, and for us it was just sadness and a disgrace. They are the responsible persons of murdering our kids. And until these days, they did not give us a meeting. They did not accept to meet with us and give us an explanation of what happened. Being him the commander-in-chief, he definitely left our kids behind, and just to fill the agenda of his prior commitments. I am Kamala Harris and Joe Biden to accept the meeting with us and meet with us and explain us what was the whole deal behind the withdrawal in Afghanistan. I think that as a parents, we deserve a explanation and we deserve the truth of what happened with our kids that day.
I mean,
Can you believe all these years, not one time,
not one
but
time,
they'll go out publicly
Mhm.
and they'll say they're sorry for the loss, the families that lost
Mhm.
those, but yet they won't contact the families. Shallow. It's just shallow.
13 phone calls, 13 visits,
Yeah.
13 efforts to just care about the sacrifice that they caused those families. An apology, anything would have been better than them ignoring them, which is what Democrats do. And you notice the demographic of all these people. This isn't, oh gosh, look at all these right wingers, all these rich white guys, right? That are the Republican Party. No, folks, this is something we should all be united in. And the Democrats don't. They do not care. Am I lumping every Democrat into that basket? I am at this point. They just don't care.
These are the same people that are still calling these campus riots.
Yes.
Peaceful protests.
And all the riots in the summer of freedom in 2020. Yes.
Mm-hmm. We got two more, but I blame Harris and Biden, of course, the administration for that, but the media. It's just another example how they refuse to play the truth. Mm-hmm. They refuse. They don't like President Trump.
Yep.
So they're being told by their bosses, the Democrat Party, this is what you're going to do. Mm-hmm. And even though it backfires, though it backfires on them
every time,
President Trump did not contact these parents
and
these family members and say, please go out and make a video for me.
No,
they did it on their own.
That's right. That's right. Because of the media lies, because of the lies from the administration.
Dale, you're cutting out again. All right. Here's from another parent, Steve McCuey.
Vice President Harris, my name is Steve McCuey. I'm the father of Lance Corporal Kareem M. McCuey. And your administration killed my son. Deliberately in exchange for political theatrics, so you could have a final day of the evacuation coincide with September 11th. Ignoring the advice of your generals, the Doha Agreement, and countless other veterans and members of Congress. Denying the safety of the Afghans and the servicemen and women. Your choice to play politics in 2021 killed 170 Afghans, 13 U.S. service members, and wounded 45 of our service members, as well as countless Afghans. You were not at Dover for the dignified transfer. At no time have you reached out to me to offer your condolences, to offer thank you for Kareem's sacrifice and service. Not once have you honored him by saying his name, so I said it for you. You have disparaged all 13 who have lost their lives as well as their families, exhibiting your lack of gratitude by your silence. I agree with you on one thing, that a person like you should never and will never stand behind the seal of presidency. You are a DEI vice president, and contrary to our kids, the worst that America has to offer. I will pray for you, that God has mercy on your soul.
The whole administration is DEI.
All of them. Every single one of them. Jim, am I back by any chance?
Yeah, you're back.
Okay. Temporarily, maybe. Again, I don't know why that's happening, but we have one more and I want to get through it. This one here is Jacqueline Schmitz. Let's hear from Jacqueline.
Kamala, your statement is nothing more than a political spin to help you look better in your presidential campaign against Donald Trump. You have never walked a single day in our shoes. Our kids were murdered because of your administration. And you are partly to blame for that as well. What happened at Arlington was President Trump was invited by those families who have their soldiers buried at Arlington. They were invited there as a friend, as somebody who has taken the time numerous times on numerous occasions to hear our stories, to speak our kids' names, and to help us get some accountability from your administration, because in over 3 years, we have gotten nothing but more and more lies. Just like your statement, more and more spun lies and cover-ups to make you and your administration look good. But there is one thing that you said in your statement that was true. No one should be running for president if they cannot honor military members, their families, as well as veterans. So I guess that means that you should step down, Kamala.
That's exactly well said at the end there. You should step down. Yep, that's the thing we agree with her with.
If you were a military family, would you trust
No.
Kamala, Vice President Harris too?
Nope. Nope. To have your back, if you're a first responder, if you're currently in the military, if you're thinking about going in the military. Sadly, you cannot trust this administration. Folks, we just wanted to bring you those voices again. Not much more to add to it. That speaks volumes. That said it all.
We didn't cut
That said
anything
it
out,
all.
folks. Those are what they posted.
That's exactly
We
what they
let them
posted.
speak. We let them speak. And
Yep. You'll let them speak, and that's exactly what they had to say. Jim, moving on from that, do you want to get Great Gare in here again real quick, and then we can get to your you've got stuff you want to talk about, I think, today, don't you? Be right back.
Grit is defined as firmness of character, unyielding courage in the face of hardship or danger. At Grit Gear Apparel, we honor all military, police, fire, public service, and patriotic Americans, both men and women regardless of color, creed, or religion. Our brand represents the love and freedom for our country, the heroism of all our men and women, and the principles of what this wonderful country was built on. Our goal is to regenerate the sense of patriotism and to spark the American pride within us, to stand together in the toughest times and become victorious, to preserve all our freedoms, to honor our flag, and to respect the men and women who have fought and died for us to have these freedoms. Wear our brand with pride, with a sense of patriotism, and as a statement for the love of our country. Whether you're military, public official, or civilian, our brand is for you. Together we stand as Americans.
Jim, remember, greatgearapparel.com, lockandloadcoffee.com. Use coupon code 2guys, get 10% off your first order. Anything over $125 is free shipping. So go ahead, please support them. These are the folks that help support also Gold Star families, first responders, homeless veterans. They are sponsors of the Warrior Shield Foundation Warrior Fest this weekend as well. Two of many sponsors of the Warrior Shield Fest this weekend. You're truly helping out these families, people you've heard from, people you don't know, but people who have died and served our country, people who are homeless and have served our country, people who need wheelchairs, people who need, our veterans who need service animals, places to live, boots on their feet, warm clothing. It's all part of the process and all part of the plan where we can make a difference. You know, Grit Gear Apparel is, Lock and Load Coffee is, and Warrior Shield Foundation is. We're telling you, and honestly, they are making a difference, Jim. Let's play some comments, Jim. We had a lot of comments during that I thought were very, very, very good and telling. If you don't mind. Yep. I feel like Trump gives the current regime ample time to respond, and when they don't, has a genuine, heartfelt response to these families to let them know they have not been forgotten. True leadership. Absolutely. Thank you, Dragon. There's that one. This one, speaking, one's hurting, place of pain. I almost went away again.
Yep.
And don't do due to they themselves that they despise. Bud South, absolutely spot on assessment.
And here's another one from Bud South. Just if anyone who votes for Kamala thinks for 1 second her or Biden supports our troops are completely delusional.
Correct.
I kind of like this one.
Good morning. Bad day for Kamala. Morning drink is on the menu for her. Yeah.
Yeah. This is not good, folks. And it's coming out.
Mm-hmm.
It's, I don't know. It's just,
she's terrible. She's been installed. We know the DEI. We know all the background. We know who she is.
Yep.
And she stands firm with. Says that her positions have changed. So that means her positions on the military also have not changed, and her position treats our servicemen and families of those service members have not changed.
Right.
That's what she said, and what amounted to that softball. Jim's going to talk about as well.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to, Jim, if you
kind of talk about it together, but I wanted to show this before I go into Kamala policies. I want to show you the new Kamala, and whoever did put this together, I can't give him credit because I don't know who it was, but Leo Terrell on his X Files was here. So please watch the new Kamala.
Meet the new Kamala. She's compassionate, likable, brilliant, black, fashionable, black, creative, not an Indian, and black. Prepare to be amazed by the new, more intelligent, more likable, even blacker Kamala Harris, the new presidential candidate we chose for you.
I like we chose for you.
And black. Likeable and black. Oh my God, that was well put together.
How many times did they have to say that?
Yep.
Okay, folks. I was watching Sean Hannity the other night, and he allowed anybody who wants to go out to his site and pick out what he calls Kamalacies. I did, so I'm stealing it from him because he said we could. So, but he put a nice list together of her official policies, and I want you to remember from that interview. Her values are the same.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah, another comment about your. Yeah. Oh boy.
Come on.
Anyway, so the policies, her values have not changed. So here we go.
Here we go.
In the Trump tax cuts, raise corporate tax rates from 21% to 28%. Tax unrealized capital gains at 25%. We're going to get to that in just a second.
Yeah, I'm just going to say we have to get to that.
Capital gains at 28%. No tax on tip income. $6,000 child credit for newborns that they don't kill. $25,000 down payment assistance for first-time home buyers, illegals. Release illegal immigrants from detention. Speed up asylum claims. Allow illegal immigrants to continuously appeal extradition, ban bulk buying discounts for discount grocers, price controls to combat grocery price gouging, no cash bail, expand Obamacare, basically turn it into Medicare for all, yes and no on fracking, pick one.
Oh, yeah, pick one.
Ban offshore drilling, continue giving Ukraine just enough to never win. China, what's that? Support NATO, so they don't have to. Remember President Trump? One of the reasons NATO doesn't want Trump in there because Trump makes them pay.
Exactly.
No one else
share
does.
For protection and freedom.
Support Israel Hamas or Hamas Israel. Take your pick. Rent control.
Yep.
And refederalizing abortion until crowning.
Oh my God. So right at the moment of birth.
That is. Yep. Now, let's go back to the unrealized capital gains taxes, folks, in case some of you, and I am not an expert in this by any stretch of the imagination. But if you have taxes or stocks and you did well on your stocks for the year, let's just say you got $25,000 in stock. You didn't cash it out.
No.
It's sitting out there. 25. That is unrealized gains.
Unrealized gains.
They're going to tax that.
Do you want, Jim, kind of the unrealized capital gains 101 explanation?
Yes.
Which I thought was brilliant. So here, now that you brought that up. So here's just an example. You bought 100 shares of Zoom stock in January 2020 for $75 per share. Okay, you with me?
Yep.
Ends year at that. So that stock ends the year at $350 per share, but you didn't sell, giving you an unrealized gain of $27,500. Under Kamala's plan, you owe $6,875 in taxes, or 25% of the $27,500. But you didn't sell, so you don't have the cash. You pay taxes out of savings.
Yep.
You continue to hold until August 2024, finally sell it for $60 per share. You lost $1,500 on the stock, plus you paid the taxes on the $27,500 of gains you never actually received since they evaporated. That's what unrealized gains are. So again, you bought a stock, it goes up, you don't sell, but you got to pay taxes on that because it's unrealized gains. And then you finally sell the stock at either a break even or losing point, and you lose money on that, which again is basically a fee you're paying on the unrealized gains. Unrealized gains. That means I could have made this magical amount.
Yeah, I had
since I
that
didn't.
I had that same information.
Did you? Oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay. That's all right. No, it's because it needs to be said, and it has
I'm
to
sorry.
be
I didn't know you had that,
So
Jim.
that's
My
perfectly
bad.
fine. I want to add one quick thing.
Please. No, add
Remember
everything.
when President Obama wanted to go after that 401k,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Because it's pre-taxed.
Correct.
He wanted it.
Yep.
This is the way to get to it.
That's it.
Your 401k, folks.
Mhm.
You make money on your 401k, you're going to start getting taxed on that per her plan. Don't let them fool you.
Yep.
Because she's going to say, we're going after the billionaires. We're going after the billionaires for all their money they have sitting out there. They know, and they pay people to move that money around.
Correct.
They know when it's the time to sell, when it's the time to buy, when it's the time to do this.
Yep.
Our 401ks, I mean, yeah, we can go in and change them anytime we want, but are we going to be, we've got lives we have to live.
There's unrealized gains in 401 or losses, right?
That's what it is,
as we've seen. So there are that's an unrealized gain. Good example,
folks. This is communist China. I don't care what anybody says. With what she wants to do, she wants rent control. So now the renters can't decide what the rent costs are going to be. Right. They decide what the rent costs are going to be. Ban bulk buying discounts for discount grocers. Again, setting the price.
Setting the price. That's right.
It's just anyway. That's your potential president, folks.
That's happening. In comments from people. Let's put this up here. If my Jim, am I frozen again?
No, you're not frozen.
Yeah. I'm the one that. So for those audio listening out. Dems want to tax the people and Trump's to tax the countries. Yep, I'm voting for Trump. Keep it simple, stupid. That's exactly right. Yeah, no doubt. Any more, Jim? That you?
Yeah, we got one here from Grit Gear. The administration wants their clause in everything. How can anyone vote for her? Again, Rich, I completely agree. I'm not sure I believe these polls. I just can't be convinced that more than 47% of people think she's going to make a great president.
There's no way. There's absolutely no way people can think that. That's absolutely true. And yet millions will vote for this disaster. And millions illegally will vote for this disaster.
Okay, but and that is a very good point. How many of those people voting? We talk about this all the time. Uninformed voters. The most dangerous voters in this country. And those uninformed voters are not conservative voters.
No, they're not. And they're not getting this information. They're not going to any They're not going to any news source, any site, any periodical, anything that's going to give them that information. That's the problem. This is why you have to, you got to have the facts, and you've got to talk to these people. Correct? They will tax the hell out of it. Well, I mean, you got to have 87,000 new IRS agents. Got to do something.
President Obama wanted that money in the pre-tax 401k.
He did.
He wanted it, but he knew, I can't go get it right now. That would be a bad play, and it would be a bad look.
Correct. Mm-hmm.
And I'm telling you, folks, if he's not running the country, he has say in it, because this has him written all over it.
Him, Susan Rice, it's got the whole group of them written all over it.
This next thing I'm going to play, because at times like this, we need someone like him. Okay, so I'm going to play a quick Reagan clip.
Okay, yeah, absolutely.
And I watched the movie last night. I went.
Yeah, we come back talk about that
and stuff. But please, folks, watch this.
How do we call a liberal? You know, someone very profoundly once said many years ago that if fascism ever comes to America, it'll come in the name of liberalism. And what is fascism? Fascism is private ownership, private enterprise, but total government control and regulation. Well, isn't this the liberal philosophy? The conservative, so-called, is the one that says less government, get off my back, get out of my pocket, and let me have more control of my own destiny.
And we are the threat to democracy.
We are the threat.
Folks, I went to see the movie last night, and I'm going to tell you, I did not realize, and Dale, we talked about this before, I didn't realize that when he was the Screen Actors Guild president, I did not realize that he was fighting communism then. They were trying to get in through the union, through there. I did not realize, but he has been fighting them since his days in the SAG. And the movie was presented from the view of a communist who warned Brezhnev about him, about Reagan. This guy.
So that's how they presented the movie. I haven't seen it yet. So
that's how they present it. So please, I encourage you to go watch it. It is a great story. I mean, President Reagan, I know there's people out there that don't like him, but that's because of what the liberals tell them. They don't go out and research it themselves.
Liberals hate him, of course.
Uninformed voters, that's what they're called. It's a great movie, gives you goosebumps. And I'm gonna, I don't do this a lot, but there's part of me that thinks President Reagan came at a time we needed him.
Yeah.
Right? Cold War, everything. I mean, he came, just took this country, made us profitable, turned back communist China, turned them back, became who we are. Say what you want about the debt and everything else, but we were safe. He did it. We were making money like crazy. Okay. I believe in my heart that Ronald Reagan is up in heaven. And I want to say that Ronald Reagan went to God, send Trump in. And I can just see it. You know, you can just see Ronald, because the man, no matter who he talked to, he made a friend. You made a friend out of this guy. I can see him. And that's why I think it's important. I don't want to compare President Trump to President Reagan, but
no.
A lot of similarities, folks.
Yeah, a lot of similarities thought-wise.
Both of them are coming at a time we need them, where they're fighting communism, because I don't care what forget the socialism claim.
Yeah.
We are going way past that to communism. That is where we're heading. So it's just kind of ironic that this movie comes out, President Reagan's fighting communism, President Trump fighting communism.
Correct.
President Trump in a different way, because they are attacking this guy imagine how successful he could have been, Dale. We talk about this all the time. If he wasn't constantly fighting
the
Dems wanting to go after him and do all this
tooth
stuff.
and nail every minute.
But if you haven't seen the movie, folks, please go out and watch it. You will not be upset whatsoever. It is a great movie.
Good.
And if anybody noticed, real quick, and we'll get into one of your other story here, Tim Walz's brother is endorsing President Trump. Well, maybe endorsing President Trump, but we know who he's not endorsing.
We know who he's not. Correct. We know who he's not endorsing. Yeah, we love it. You know, I mean, you know, we don't we have talked about Tim Walz, obviously. We've talked about the ticket themselves, and they're just total socialist, communist ticket. And they both survived attempts on their. Oh, that's true. Both of them. Yeah, why were they? Why did that happen to them? I wonder. Why did it happen to Kennedy? Why did it happen to Lincoln? Why is, come on, folks. We know. They can't have that kind of leadership in there. They lose control. They lose control over their plan. They lose control over their over us. They can't have a leader in there like that. We know that. That's why they cheated in 2020. That's why that is a bogus election. That's why it was unfair. That's why they cheated. That's why they need all of these machines that can switch. Listen, we've had people on this show to talk about this all the time. That's why they're doing this. So we need 100 million minimum to go out to the ballot box and vote for President Donald
that's minimum.
Trump. That's a minimum. We need 100 million, and we know there's more than that out there.
Yep.
Registered Republicans, the NRA members, the gun owners in this country, veterans who often don't vote after they get out of the service because we found out because they're so disenfranchised with the whole government, and especially under the Biden-Harris administration, they feel like those Gold Star families. Like nobody's listening to them, nobody cares. But wait, there is one person that does, and that is President Trump, and they know it. Yep. And so we need everybody to go out there and vote. That is the absolute most important thing. Whether you think your vote's going to counter, it will.
It will.
Enough of us, like they say.
If you want to turn around and say that President Trump got 100 million votes, and Kamala Harris got 110,
Yep.
No way.
That's right. Immediately they know. So, Jim, is there, let's talk about a little bit, if we can, the softball interview Dana Bash had with, so here's my first take on it. Okay. And it's old news now, and we know that, and it's been rehashed, but we haven't been on the air since it happened. Literally she had to bring her helper with her. That's what it was. She had to bring somebody with her to a sit-down softball interview with a very meek and mild journalist. And like I said, I don't know, Dana, she seems like a nice lady. That's not my point. There's a lot of nice people out there. But the questions, Jim, were absolutely abysmal. And she couldn't handle most of them.
No.
She couldn't. Tim Walz couldn't handle the one where he said, where she asked him, well, you did say that you went to battle, that you, and he just went on, I'm very proud of my service in the, National Guard. Well, and that's fine. You could have literally just stuck with that the rest of your life. Huh?
She never followed it up.
She never followed it up, but she asked a question, at least. I'll give her that. She brought it up. But no, she never followed up, but he just went all around it like Waltz does. He's a buffoon. And I say he's a buffoon. He's a very regimented, knows what he's doing buffoon. He knows who he is. We know who he is. But what's your opinion on that? You have anything to add to the CNN stuff?
Other than how many times did she say my values have not changed?
Yes. So you're for fracking, you're not for fracking. Wait, your values have not changed.
Can you see her in a debate with President Trump? She wants the mic on because she can have that. I'm talking, please. Which, if you go back and look at it, she looks stupid.
She looks stupid.
She looked utterly stupid. She didn't. I mean, it's like if Vice President Pence breathed, I'm talking.
I know.
I'm talking. So that's because she had nothing else to say.
She had nothing else to say. She's talking, but you have nothing to say. Yeah. And then the visual of that interview, she could not be more slouched down.
Yeah.
I mean, she looked like she literally looked like somebody who got the job that has no qualifications, which is absolutely true. She looked exactly like that. You get hired for a job and you know nothing about it. That's what she looked like.
Do you think there's going to be a debate?
I don't even. The truth of the matter is, Trump doesn't need to.
No,
he doesn't need to debate her.
He wants the open mic.
She needs that open mic crap so she can cackle and get her way in there. Yeah.
ABC's already come out and said, no, we're going to do what we agreed with what we agreed before. That's going to be her out.
That's going to be her out.
Well, if you're not going to do this, then I'm just.
Well, if you're not going to do this, I can't partake in it. And then, of course, I hope then, is it NBC or ABC?
ABC. ABC.
So, and then hopefully at that point, ABC comes out and says, Vice President, she backed down because she disagreed with the originally agreed upon rules. They won't, though. They'll get their walking orders. Here's what you're going to say. We're going to turn down the debate. And here's what you and every news broadcast across this country is going to say about it. That's what they do. You looking at comments? It looks like you are.
Yeah, I'm going to play Thaddeus. Cute. I'm going to play a few of his because they're pretty good.
Okay. Tim gets a bad rep. He is really an American here. I served with him. Hero. I served with him on the beaches of Norway. He saves us, storming the beach and taking out 3 enemy bunkers. He was shot twice and kept going.
Oh, it gets better. Wait a minute.
No, it doesn't. Tell me, does it? Tim was the point man for the midnight ride of Paul Revere.
Hey, there's another one.
My name is Lance Corporal Hooper. Tim Walsh saved my life at Valley Forge. Those are good. Those are very good. Oh my God. Thank you, Thaddeus.
I want to point out one quick thing about Tim Walz. If anybody's paying attention to this, I don't know if you are. I've started paying attention to this since I saw Sebastian Garco talk about it before he went on his podcast. But when Walz was in the National Guard, he traveled frequently to China.
Yes, to China.
Now, you can't just do that. If you are an active serviceman, you can't just travel to what we consider an enemy nation.
Correct.
And China is that. So the Biden-Harris Pentagon is refusing to answer questions from Congress and the media on Democrat vice presidential nominee Tim Walz's frequent travel to China, which poses risk for members of the military and raises questions of whether or not Walz reported these trips to the Army National Guard while he was serving. Now, real quick, members of the United States military are typically required to report or request permission from their command before traveling overseas, especially if they have a security clearance and they are traveling to a country hostile to U.S. interests. This is because members of the U.S. military are enticing targets for foreign espionage and exploitation. When traveling to hostile countries, they will often receive a defense briefing before they go on on what to watch out for. Upon returning, they are sometimes asked to provide briefing of the trip and who they met with if anything is out of the ordinary. So my congressman, Jim Banks, chairman of the Military Personnel Subcommittee, has asked for this information from Austin.
And thank you.
And it has not been
Banks
given.
for asking that. Of course
it has not been given.
No,
so what are they hiding?
Correct.
What are they hiding? And I'm going to tell you, this man is going to be president or vice president. I mean, this guy has China written all over him. Do you think he's going to be tough against China? Do you think he's going to do what President Trump does? Hey, I'm looking. Remember what President Trump did? I'm looking at the buy and the sell.
Correct.
And I'm seeing an awful lot of buying.
And not an awful lot of selling.
And not an awful lot of selling. So he increased the tariffs on him.
Correct. So, Jim, thank you for bringing that up. Listen, we want to play about a 3-minute clip from J.J. Carroll, former senior Border Patrol agent. We had him on show. I think it was episode 19. You have to see it, but he's got his documentary coming out on September 19th, the first half. It's called Treason Trafficked. And that whole documentary really hits home.
This clip talks about the NGOs.
Okay.
And the kids coming into the country. Okay. Don't buy what you're being told.
Jim, roll that clip, bro. Roll that clip.
I work for a ton of NGOs.
You went and got employed by the NGOs at the child migrant centers.
I did it for the Trump administration. I did it for the Biden administration.
So tell me what it was like under Trump.
people are like, well, Trump's separating families and this and that. And it's like, well, he's separating these people because they're not families.
Right.
They're kidnapped kids who are here against their will. Right?
Well, that goes opposite of AOC and everyone else that said Trump is putting kids in cages.
Inhumane conduct that is about putting babies in cages. It is about separating children from their parents. You know, you got to play by the rules, but we can't treat people like criminals.
Legal asylees are not charged with any crime.
When you're in the country illegally, it's violation 8 United States Code 1325.
Seeking asylum is legal.
If you want to seek asylum and go through the port of entry, do it the legal way.
Okay.
People like AOC, they don't know what they're talking about. You don't know unless you work inside these places.
Children were not going to their parents. They were being trafficked with billions of taxpayer dollars by a contractor failing to vet sponsors and process children safely, with government officials complicit in it.
A lot of these kids in these facilities don't want to be there. They've asked, can I be deported? And the federal government or says, you're under federal custody. You're not allowed to leave until we give you a sponsor.
The sponsor given by a child trafficker in Mexico.
A lot of these times, these sponsors, these men, I would have men who were drunk in front of me there to pick up children, men who looked like they were under the influence of drugs, there to sign for a child and take them with them.
The Biden administration has known this. These sponsors are themselves undocumented. They know these people are part of a transnational criminal organization that makes money, that profits off human and sex trafficking. They know it, and they're doing it.
Some sick individual with a teenage girl, you know what they're going to want to do to her. They're not going to want to just force her to work. They're going to want to do other stuff to her.
It sounds as if you're dropping off children to somebody that ordered them off of Amazon.
Hey, where are you guys moving these kids to in this black car? Where are you going, man? How can we guarantee this kid's safety? Because you're not going to check up on them, right?
You didn't ask my permission to be on.
Well, this is a one-party. It's a one-party consent state in New York. This is a public place.
It's a trafficking ring. A lot of people don't like to say it, but it is, because you're moving children. And every corner, whether it's Texas, California, now New York, there's children who are being harmed because of the immigration crisis.
And you've told this to so many people. Why has no one done anything?
There's certain people in Congress who will tweet about the kids, and they'll say, oh, Joe Biden has lost 85,000 of them, and he's such a bad person, and they'll make videos about it, and they'll get likes and retweets. But when a whistleblower calls their office, they don't talk to us. They don't care.
No, they don't, because they're all in on it.
Matt Gaetz does a lot of good, I will say that, but at the same time, is where are you on the kids?
All right, folks,
Wow.
that is
Wow.
Treason Trafficked, which comes out September 19th, and then Treason Invaded comes out October 22nd.
Mhm.
We can't stress this trafficked enough. If you watched the interview with JJ Carroll, this wasn't supposed to be this way.
Correct.
It wasn't supposed to be
Correct.
anything about trafficked. It was only supposed to be invasion.
Yep.
And this is what happened.
Yep,
So,
exactly.
folks, that is a scary thought, and it really is. And I'm
It's
telling
frightening.
you,
It's frightening
if-
how complicit our government is on this.
and I do like how people do come out and say things,
Yes.
but there's no actions.
There's no action.
We
It
will
happens
have
all
all
the time.
these committee meetings, right? We'll have everybody coming to talk in front of them so they can get their moment of great questions in there. And I got you questions.
Yep.
Nothing ever happens.
We
These
talk
are
about this
children-
ad nauseum, Jim. Senate
Yep.
hearings that nothing happens with. Go on.
And I'm telling you, it goes to what we were talking about before. When you've got these people up there,
Mhm.
they talk, they say that, and then you leave it go.
Yep.
When you don't do anything about it,
Yeah.
you're just as guilty, even if you have nothing to do with it.
Correct.
You're just as guilty.
You're complicit in it.
So we just need to keep getting this out. There's a couple other questions that are comments that were out here. I want to.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
If you don't mind.
You reading it or you want me to? I'll read. I can read it.
Tim Wall survived the Battle of Little Bighorn. Custer's last
Last
stand.
Thank you.
This is treason. This is where you go to catch the movie.
Correct.
And
Thank
here's
you, by the
another
way.
comment. If they didn't do anything there at Swalwell, good luck getting the. And again, I don't know if they're going to do anything to Tim Walz. It's just a public thing. I would like to see one of these requests to come in front of Congress
Yes.
mean something.
Mean something.
One time.
Have
One time I
something
would love
done.
it.
Correct.
Yeah, instead of giving
Correct.
them their moments in the spotlight.
Yeah, it drives me nuts. It drives me nuts. Absolutely true. Jim, if there's nothing else, I do want to talk a little bit about Wednesday's show, if you don't mind.
Yep.
So this Wednesday, folks, at the first half of our show, so 10:30 a.m. Eastern, 7:30 Pacific, right at 10:30, we are going to have Commander Dan O'Shea with us. He's got about 30 minutes. We're going to talk about the Israeli hostages, the Hamas murdering the 6 hostages. Commander Dan O'Shea, former Navy SEAL, hostage negotiator, hostage expert, has helped with policy, helped train those who go in to get hostages. Integral part of it. He's been all over CNN, Fox News. He's been everywhere. He will be with us this Wednesday at 10:30. You do not want to miss that. You absolutely do not want to miss that. So again, this Wednesday, September 4th, Commander Dan O'Shea, 10:30 a.m. Eastern. Be there, honestly, and tell everyone to join in. Folks, listen.
I do want to
go ahead.
By the way, folks, for all of you who hear Kamala now wanting to copy President Trump, no tax on tips.
Yeah.
Did you see what her state just did?
California?
Yeah.
What?
California Democrats vote down.
Oh, yeah.
No tax on tips bill. Proposed
Oh, really?
by Republicans.
Wow. Wow.
That's what she's going to do, folks.
That's what she's going to do. I'm all for it.
No way is she not.
And her campaign ad that shows Trump's border wall, which she's all of a sudden in favor of.
Yeah, so that's just in, folks.
Abysmal.
California voted down no tax on tips.
No tax on tips. Jim, we're going to listen to Grit Gear one more time before we end the show. Here they are.
Grit is defined as firmness of character, unyielding courage in the face of hardship or danger. At Grit Gear Apparel, we honor all military, police, fire, public service, and patriotic Americans, both men and women regardless of color, creed, or religion. Our brand represents the love and freedom for our country, the heroism of all our men and women, and the principles of what this wonderful country was built on. Our goal is to regenerate the sense of patriotism and to spark the American pride within us, to stand together in the toughest times and become victorious, to preserve all our freedoms, to honor our flag, and to respect the men and women who have fought and died for us to have these freedoms. Wear our brand with pride, with a sense of patriotism, and as a statement for the love of our country. Whether you're military, public official, or civilian, our brand is for you. Together we stand as Americans.
Stand as Americans together.
GritGearApparel.com, folks. Please go.
LockandLoadCoffee.com. Don't forget their coffee. Don't forget about all their gear. Veteran supported, family owned and operated. True America first. Made in America products, including their coffee. Everything made here, made in the beautiful state of Ohio. So do not forget to go there. Coupon code 2GUYS, 10% off your first order. Free shipping on everything over $125. Folks and Jim and everybody, thank you for joining us today on your day off. You could have been doing a lot of things, and instead you joined, you listened, you contributed, you commented, and we thank you for that. We can't thank you enough for that. We do appreciate you spending your day off, your morning off with us.
And we like
it's a true honor.
We like the little comedy in there because we have to laugh, folks. If we don't laugh, we will cry.
Yep, exactly. So
not to, but sometimes we just have to. And
we have to.
Yep. So God bless all of you, and thank you.
Yep. Thank you, Jim. Thank you too. Thank you for your contribution as always. Best co-host in all of podcasts. I've said it 100 times. Well, I've said it 3 times, but now I've said it 4 times. You're the best co-host a podcaster can have, and I truly mean that. I appreciate all your work on this.
You as well, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, folks. Until then, God bless you. God bless America. Thank you again for spending your day off.
Go
with
watch
us.
that Reagan movie.
Go see the Reagan movie. Go support Grit Gear. Go support the Warrior Shield Foundation. That's all we ask. Jim, until Wednesday, everybody, we'll talk to you soon. Bye.
Bye.
Oh, hey, I got to play the outro, don't I, Jim?
Or I can, is whatever.
Got it.